John is an identity theft expert, and this is not theoretical. This actually has happened to you before, right?
Yeah, it's happened 2 times.
How the first time?
First time it was stolen out of my trash after I bought a home. We put some mortgage documents, copies of documents out in the trash 5 years ago. We weren't even thinking of this problem, and a woman used it to buy a second home in my name.
Congratulations, you have a second home.
Yes, I do. And then she decided she couldn't make the payments and started to file bankruptcy proceedings.
Congratulations, you were screwed.
Yes, I was, and that was minor compared to the second one.
Okay, tell us about the second time somebody stole your ID.
Second time, it was stolen out of my business and used to embezzle from our clients. So my login information was used to embezzle funds between business accounts and a credit card account. Turned out to be my business partner who
what?
Yeah, who used my identity to cover his crimes.
But see, that could happen with anybody. I mean, you trust your partner, don't you?
You do.
You don't.
The inside, no, I don't anymore. But the inside job is so often what this is about. It's really unfortunate.
No kidding. Okay, with the home mortgage application or whatever, with the first one, what was the important number that they got that they needed to buy that second home?
You know, it must have
all the stuff.
Yeah, I think it was all the stuff. The social security number, probably the
date of birth.
Yep, exactly.
Next of kin. Oh man, that sucks.
It does. It's really unfortunate because you think this stuff it's your property. And
okay, now you're here today, and there's been a little commercial on television talking about if you've got one of these credit cards with the little sonic waves on it, that indicates that it's got an RF radio frequency chip in it, an RFID, and you've seen McDonald's and places like that, gas stations say, if we've got this thing there, all you got to do is touch it. And you can pay. Watch it. See when those green lights right up there go on? That means that little gizmo has read the card. And so there's a company that's out selling a protective sleeve for that.
Yes.
Because the worry is, and John, I'm going to put your credit card, which we just showed the number of, in my back pocket right there. And let's say you're standing in line for the subway or something like that, and somebody with that reader thing was to, come up behind you. I heard the beep.
Yep.
But I didn't feel it. And what did that thing just do?
It just captured your number, sends it wirelessly to a little computer device that, to a netbook computer.
Yeah.
And suddenly you've got the number, the expiration date, and maybe the name.
Now you say that while that is a real threat, it's not a gigantic threat, because who can haul around all this hardware? I mean, look, this thing is hooked to that, and then you need the netbook and everything else.
The reality is you can make it all mobile if you want. So you're carrying around, a bag this size. The problem is it's still incredibly labor intensive to come up to you with a bag, get within 2 inches of wherever you happen to be, storing the card. Mm-hmm. The average thief would rather hack into a database where they can get 100,000 card numbers at a time to sell, because they're selling these for $5 or $10 a piece online.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's too much work to get a single number.
So that's what you would need. But if somebody behind you walked up with that stuff concealed in a satchel, you'd never know.
You wouldn't. So the threat is real. Yeah. No question, it can be done. The threat is real. We should be aware of it. It's not as big of a risk as so many other things that we got to make sure we focus on the.
But John, if somebody did steal your credit card number, then aren't you protected by the credit card company?
Absolutely. As long as you catch it in a reasonable time, 90 days. Mm-hmm. If you're monitoring online or you're getting account alerts every time something's spent on your card, you shut it down, you're not liable. You might be liable for $50. The average credit card company is not going to charge you that money.
A couple of years ago, somebody stole one of my credit card numbers and then bought a whole bunch of furniture, I think $25,000 worth of furniture.
Wow.
In London.
Nice credit.
Now think about this. If you know where they delivered the furniture, you would probably know who stole the number. And the guy at the credit card company said, I said, so you're going to go after the guy? And he goes, it's too complicated.
It is. The law enforcement doesn't really care. And by the way, they ship it to a house that's on the market. Nobody lives there. They walk up just before UPS delivers, and they're getting it at an address that's not theirs.
You could be the guy who designed the perfect crime.
Yes, think like a spy.
You've got a crime mind. Okay, let's talk a little bit about, so many people buy stuff online these days.
Yes.
And I'm always a little reluctant to put my whole credit card number in there, but I think in the back of my head, it's not my social security number. if it's just the credit card number,
right,
I would be protected, right?
You are. In fact, I think it's safer sometimes to shop online. If you've got a well-protected computer, you've got antivirus, anti-spyware, those type of things, I think you're better sometimes to shop online because no human is coming into contact with that actual number. I have no issue using a credit card to shop online. Wouldn't use a debit card, but I would use a credit card.
You would not use a debit card?
No, you're not nearly as protected because the money comes out of your account, and then you have to prove it was fraudulent to get the money back in your account.
Well, here's the other thing about using a debit card, and I'm just afraid of this, is that's my bank account. I actually have some money in there.
Yes, you do.
They could just do a Hoover and there it all goes.
That's exactly right.
And how much would the bank be obligated to give me back?
Depends on how quickly you catch it. If you catch it within 30 days, generally they'll give all of it back. But you're out of the use of that money until you prove that it wasn't you. Whereas with a credit card, they wipe it off until they have proven.
There's so many things you need to do to protect yourself. John, what's your book called again?
Book is Privacy Means Profit.
It's a good one. I've looked at it. I've stolen some ideas from it.
Fantastic.
I've listed them. All right.
Appreciate it.
John Sileo, we thank you very much for joining us today on the After the Show show.
Thanks for having me.
Does this really work?
Yes.
Okay.
Which
see you tomorrow.
Which is a testament to
Too bad, John.
how relaxed I am about it.
You're a good sport. Ka-ching.